How many people do you know who desire wealth but never truly believe it's within reach? Not just wish for it, not just visualize it once or twice, but deeply, unwaveringly believe that their thoughts can shape their financial reality. Here's the truth: most people don't believe it. Not on a cellular, embodied level. If they did, if they knew without a doubt that the way they think is crafting their future moment by moment, would they ever go a day without consciously creating that future? Would they allow one thought of limitation, lack, or fear to take root? We're conditioned to believe that our environment, our bank account, our bills, the economy, controls our thoughts. But the real power is in reversing that. Your thinking must begin to control your environment. That's how true abundance begins. Let's break down what actually happens in most people's lives. You wake up on the same side of the bed, grab your phone, scroll through your notifications. You make your coffee in the same mug, drive the same route to work, speak to the same people, feel the same emotions: anxiety, frustration, boredom. You come home, eat, binge a show, and go to bed just to repeat it all again tomorrow. In that cycle, did your brain change at all? Were any new neural patterns formed that could invite something unfamiliar, something abundant? You thought the same thoughts, took the same actions, felt the same feelings, and created the same outcomes. And yet, some part of you still hopes something will change. But here's the principle: if your external world is dictating your internal state, you will always be a victim of your environment. True change, especially financial change, only happens when you begin thinking greater than your environment. What is your life right now? It's a mirror of your personality. Your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Together, those three components shape your personal reality: your life circumstances, your finances, your relationships. So if you want to create a new financial reality, you must become a new version of yourself. You cannot attract wealth with a personality that's wired for scarcity. If you want to experience abundance, you must shift your habitual thoughts, interrupt your routines, and feel emotions that match the version of you who already has what you desire. In short, wealth begins when your thoughts, actions, and feelings align with prosperity, not lack. Every thought you think produces a chemical. A thought of expansion or gratitude triggers one set of circuits in your brain. A thought of fear or inadequacy triggers a completely different set. When you think abundantly, you fire neural patterns that create chemicals aligned with abundance. Those chemicals signal your body to feel abundant. And the moment you feel the way you're thinking, the cycle begins. Thoughts create feelings, feelings reinforce thoughts, and you step into a new state of being. But most people are trapped in the opposite. They think about money and immediately feel fear or stress. That emotion signals more thoughts of limitation. The body memorizes the state of lack, and the mind follows. Over time, it becomes hardwired, not because it's your destiny, but because it's your habit. To break free from this cycle, it's essential to understand the mechanics of habit formation. Habits are not just repetitive actions. They are deeply ingrained neural pathways that have been reinforced over time. Consider the habit loop: cue, routine, reward. A cue triggers a routine, which leads to a reward, reinforcing the behavior. For instance, the stress of financial worries, cue, might lead you to avoid checking your bank account, routine, providing temporary relief, reward. This loop strengthens the avoidance behavior, keeping you in a state of financial ignorance. To change this, you must identify the cues and consciously choose different routines that align with your desired outcomes. Instead of avoiding your finances, face them head-on, perhaps by setting a budget or seeking financial advice. The new reward becomes a sense of control and progress. The brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections is known as neuroplasticity. This means that, regardless of age, you can rewire your brain to think and act differently. By consistently focusing on positive, abundant thoughts and behaviors, you can strengthen new neural pathways that support wealth and success. Visualization, affirmations, and mindfulness practices are tools that can aid in this process. Emotions play a crucial role in reinforcing neural pathways. When you associate positive emotions with new behaviors, you're more likely to repeat them. For example, Feeling joy and pride after successfully managing your finances encourages you to continue those behaviors. Conversely, negative emotions tied to old habits can deter you from reverting to them. Recognizing and managing your emotional responses is key to sustaining change. To truly transform, you must adopt a new identity aligned with your goals. This involves thinking. Cultivate thoughts that reflect abundance and possibility. Acting. Engage in behaviors that a financially successful person would. Feeling. Embrace emotions associated with wealth, such as confidence and gratitude. By embodying this new identity, your external reality will begin to shift to match your internal state. Awareness. Identify limiting beliefs and habitual behaviors that hinder financial growth. Intention. Set clear, specific goals for your financial future. Visualization. Regularly imagine yourself achieving these goals, engaging all your senses. Affirmations. Use positive statements to reinforce your new identity. Action. Take consistent steps toward your goals, no matter how small. Reflection. Regularly assess your progress and adjust your strategies as needed. By the time we reach our mid-30s, a significant portion of our daily behaviors, emotional reactions, and thought patterns become deeply ingrained habits. Psychologists estimate that approximately 95% of our actions are governed by subconscious programming, leaving only 5% under conscious control. This means that despite our conscious intentions to change, such as affirming wealth or setting financial goals, our underlying subconscious beliefs and emotional states often remain unchanged, leading to internal conflict and self-sabotage. This internal discord arises when our conscious mind desires change, but our subconscious mind resists, clinging to familiar patterns of thought and behavior. For instance, we might consciously affirm abundance, yet subconsciously feel unworthy or fearful about financial success. This misalignment creates a state where our thoughts and feelings are at odds, hindering our ability to manifest desired outcomes. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This adaptability allows us to learn new skills, adapt to new experiences, and even recover from brain injuries. By intentionally engaging in new thought patterns and behaviors, we can harness neuroplasticity to rewire our brains, effectively changing our habitual responses and emotional states. For example, consistently practicing gratitude can strengthen neural pathways associated with positive emotions, gradually shifting our default emotional state from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Similarly, visualizing successful outcomes can prime our brains to recognize and seize opportunities aligned with those visions. A transformative approach to reconditioning the mind involves adopting the affirmation, "I already am that now." This statement serves as a powerful tool to align our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with our desired identity. Let's dissect its components. I already. This phrase eliminates the notion of waiting or striving. It asserts that the change has already occurred, anchoring us in the present moment. I am that. This declares a new identity, shifting from wanting to being. Instead of aspiring to be wealthy, we embody wealth. Now, this emphasizes immediacy, reinforcing that the transformation is not in the future but happening in the present. By repeatedly affirming, "I already am that now," with conviction and emotional engagement, we signal to our subconscious mind that the desired state is our current reality. Over time, this consistent practice can rewire our neural pathways, aligning our internal state with our external goals. Our thoughts and emotions are intrinsically linked, each influencing the other in a continuous feedback loop. When we think positively about our financial situation, we tend to feel hopeful and empowered. Conversely, negative thoughts can lead to feelings of fear and helplessness. To manifest desired outcomes, it's crucial to align our thoughts and emotions, ensuring they support each other in creating a coherent internal state. For instance, if we aspire to financial abundance, we must cultivate thoughts of prosperity and feelings of gratitude and confidence. This alignment creates a powerful energetic state that can attract corresponding experiences and opportunities into our lives. To effectively reprogram our subconscious mind and align our internal state with our desired reality, consider the following daily practices. Awareness of limiting thoughts. Regularly monitor your thoughts, identifying patterns that reflect scarcity or self-doubt. Interrupt negative patterns. When you notice limiting thoughts, consciously interrupt them by affirming, "I already am that now," and redirect your focus to empowering beliefs. Visualize desired outcomes. Engage in daily visualization exercises, imagining yourself living your desired reality with vivid detail and emotional involvement. Embody positive emotions. Cultivate feelings associated with your goals, such as joy, gratitude, and confidence, allowing these emotions to permeate your daily experiences. Consistent practice. Repetition is key to reprogramming the subconscious mind. Commit to these practices daily, reinforcing new neural pathways and solidifying your transformed identity. The present moment is the only time we have to affect change. By fully engaging with the now, we can consciously choose our thoughts and emotions, breaking free from past conditioning. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing, can help anchor us in the present, enhancing our awareness and facilitating intentional transformation. Let's explore something most people never realize. Your reality is not created just by your actions, it's shaped primarily by the feedback loop between your thoughts and your emotions. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's biology. It's physics. It's the code running the simulation you call your life. Every single thought you think sets off a cascade of neurochemical events in the brain. Think a thought of fear, and stress hormones are released. Think a thought of hope, and dopamine flows. But the real power, and the real trap, lies in what happens next. Your body starts to feel the way you're thinking. And once you feel a certain way, that emotion sends a signal back to the brain, generating more thoughts that match the emotion. This is the thought-emotion feedback loop, a self-reinforcing cycle. You wake up, check your bank account, and see a low balance. That observation triggers a thought, "I'm broke." That thought fires circuits in your brain that have fired thousands of times before. The brain releases chemicals that produce the feeling of stress, shame, or fear. Your body absorbs that chemical cocktail, and now you feel broke. You feel unworthy. You feel like a failure. And here's the kicker. The body, addicted to that emotion, now sends a message back to the brain. "Hey, we're feeling lack, give us more thoughts that match." And so your brain obliges. Now you're thinking about that time your card was declined. That loan you still haven't paid off. The judgment in other people's eyes. Before you know it, you've spiraled into a state where your entire internal chemistry, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical state, is wired for scarcity. And without doing anything at all, you've just magnetized another day of being broke. This loop keeps people stuck for years, sometimes for a lifetime. Here's where a lot of well-meaning advice breaks down. You've heard it before, just think positive. Fake it till you make it. Act as if. While the intention is good, and there is some truth to those ideas, the strategy often fails because people try to override deep emotional programming with surface-level thinking. If your conscious mind is saying, "I'm wealthy," but your body is still feeling anxious, your nervous system won't believe the story you're telling. And the energy you emit won't change. Imagine trying to convince yourself you're calm during a panic attack. The words don't matter, your body is running the show. The body doesn't speak language. It speaks emotion. So if you're affirming abundance with your lips but embodying fear in your gut, your signal is scrambled. You're broadcasting mixed frequencies into your environment. And what you get back is a mirror of that incoherence. Inconsistent results, stalled manifestations, half-baked opportunities that never quite land. The key to shifting your reality isn't to wait for the external world to give you a reason to feel different. The key is to feel different first, to generate the internal state that matches the reality you want to attract before it appears. You must become the cause, not the effect. Instead of waiting for a large sum of money to arrive before you feel abundant, practice feeling abundant now, even with a small amount. Instead of needing a title or promotion to feel successful, embody success in how you carry yourself, how you speak, and how you respond to challenges today. This doesn't mean delusion. It means energetic preparation. It means reconditioning your nervous system to feel wealth, not by acquiring it externally, but by becoming it internally. Research in neuroscience and psychology supports this model of transformation. One key concept is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated thought and experience. Every time you think a thought, you strengthen a neural pathway. If you repeatedly think thoughts of lack and limitation, your brain builds strong highways for those signals. If, however, you begin to fire new thoughts of expansion, worthiness, and wealth, and pair those thoughts with elevated emotions, you start to weaken the old pathways and build new ones. This is how identity is reprogrammed, not by one big breakthrough, but by consistent rehearsal. Similarly, the body memorizes emotional states. If you've been chronically anxious about money, your body begins to operate from that emotion as its baseline. Your posture reflects it. Your decisions reflect it. Your tone of voice, your risk tolerance, your relationships, all become filtered through the lens of that memorized emotion. The way out? You have to interrupt the pattern and teach your body a new emotional reality. Let's talk about coherence, a powerful word in both science and spirituality. Coherence happens when your brain and heart, your thoughts and emotions, are in sync. When your internal state becomes harmonized, your body moves into a state of alignment. Your nervous system becomes regulated. Your electromagnetic field stabilizes. You begin to broadcast a clear signal. This coherence is the sweet spot where transformation occurs. And it's not theoretical. Studies show that when people enter heart-brain coherence, often through gratitude, love, or joy, their immune systems strengthen, their cognitive functions improve, and their perception of time changes. They literally become different beings in the moment. In this state, manifestations happen not through effort, but through resonance. Opportunities appear. Conversations shift. Solutions emerge. It feels magical, but it's simply biology working in harmony with intention. Here's the truth most people miss. Abundance is not a number. It's not tied to a paycheck or a price tag or a status symbol. It's an identity, a frequency you choose to live from. This means that even someone with limited resources can begin to live abundantly, while someone with wealth can still operate from a scarcity mindset. You've seen it, millionaires riddled with fear, entrepreneurs who can't enjoy their success. It's proof that abundance is not about accumulation, it's about alignment. The moment you shift your focus from getting to being, you step into power. You stop hustling for approval. You stop chasing external validation. You begin to emit the frequency of wholeness, which naturally draws things to you without the strain. This is not passivity. This is energetic congruence. So how do you do it? How do you move from intellectual understanding to embodied transformation? You rehearse the future as if it's already here. Just like an athlete visualizes every move before the game, you must visualize yourself as the version of you who is already living in abundance. This includes how you speak in a meeting, how you negotiate a deal, how you respond to unexpected bills, how you invest, how you rest, how you carry yourself. The more vividly and frequently you rehearse this identity and feel it, the faster it becomes your new baseline. And from that state, your actions naturally align. You won't have to try to make better decisions. You'll be the kind of person who does. Let's get practical. If you want to shift your internal frequency and create a self-reinforcing loop of abundance, here are daily practices to anchor it. Before you touch your phone or engage the world, spend 10 minutes feeling the emotion of your desired reality. Imagine you already received everything you've been asking for. What does it feel like in your chest? Your gut? Hold that feeling. Let it saturate your nervous system. When scarcity thoughts arise, don't fight them. Catch and redirect them. Use a phrase like, "That's the old story. I'm tuning into a new reality now." Or simply, "I already am that now." Before major decisions or during stressful moments, pause and ask, how would the abundant version of me respond right now? Then act from that identity. Gratitude is one of the fastest paths to coherence. Each day, write down 5 things you're grateful for, including things that haven't happened yet. This tells your subconscious, I trust it's already done. End your day by asking, did I live in alignment with abundance today? Celebrate the wins. Course correct the missteps. Each day is a rep. Each day is a refinement. The truth is, most people are ruled by their environment. They allow the outside world to dictate their thoughts, which dictate their emotions, which dictate their identity. To truly transform, you must reverse the flow. You must begin with intention. Choose your thoughts consciously. Let those thoughts generate elevated emotions. Then let that emotional state shape your perception of the world. Over time, your external world begins to organize itself to reflect your inner shift. This is how you reclaim authority over your life. Not by controlling outcomes, but by mastering your internal state and letting life respond to your frequency. If there's one thing to remember, it's this: the future does not belong to those who wait for the external to change. The future belongs to those bold enough to feel now what others are waiting for. To think abundantly now. To act courageously now. To walk like it's done, speak like it's here, and radiate like it's real now. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, when you generate coherence, the universe responds in kind. Not because you're lucky, not because you hustled, but because you finally became a match. And when you become it, you don't have to chase it. It shows up, because you already are that, now. Your outer world is an echo of your inner world. Everything you experience in the physical realm, your relationships, finances, career, and even your health, begins in your internal state. This means that when you change your internal world, your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, your external circumstances will naturally begin to shift as well. The phrase, "I already am that now," is far more than just a catchy mantra or a fleeting affirmation. It's a powerful declaration of your identity, a neural blueprint that you are embedding in your subconscious, and an energetic command to the universe. It's a statement that tells your mind, body, and the quantum field that you are already embodying the version of yourself who has what you desire. The key here is consistency and embodiment. Say it with deep presence, not out of desperation or a desire to get something, but from a place of knowing. Knowing that it is already yours. Knowing that you are already worthy. This practice rewires your subconscious mind, sending signals to your body and the universe that you've already stepped into the reality you are creating. Wealth and abundance are not things that you chase or struggle for. They are states of being. When you align your mind, emotions, and actions with abundance, you begin to tune into the frequency of wealth. This is where true transformation happens. It's about shifting from the mindset of lack to the mindset of abundance, and from merely wishing for wealth to embodying the energy of wealth itself. In quantum physics, everything exists as a potential in the quantum field. Your desires are not separate from you. They are already available in the infinite possibilities of this field. But in order for those desires to materialize into your reality, you must match the frequency of the version of yourself who already has what you want. This means you must align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the abundance you desire. The quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes or desires. It responds to your state of being. When your inner state of mind and body is coherent, when your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs align, the universe moves to rearrange itself to bring you what you've already embodied. This is the law of resonance in action. When you vibrate at the frequency of your desires, your external reality must shift to match that frequency. Too often, people wait for a crisis to make a change. They wait until they hit a financial collapse, a health scare, or a rock-bottom moment before they finally decide to take control of their lives and change their habits. But you don't have to wait for a crisis to begin transforming your life. You don't need to experience the lowest point to access the highest version of yourself. The truth is, the potential to change is always available to you. In fact, it's always been there. You don't need to wait until things get bad to start acting as though your dreams are already real. You have the power to decide right now, in this very moment, that you are no longer going to think in alignment with your current reality. You can choose, right now, to think and feel like the person who has already achieved your desires. This shift doesn't require a dramatic event or some catastrophic moment. It simply requires a decision, the decision to stop living in the past and to start living in the future. The future version of you who has already experienced the success, abundance, and freedom you desire. When you make that decision, you shift the way you think, feel, and act. You create new neural pathways and new emotional states that align with your future success, and these new patterns become your new reality. The key is to condition your body to believe that the future you desire is already happening. When you start living in alignment with your future self, you're not waiting for your external circumstances to change. You're changing them from within. You're choosing to be that person now, before your circumstances have caught up. And this is what accelerates the manifestation of your desires. Remember, the universe responds not to your wishes but to the coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The more consistently you live in alignment with your desires, the faster they will come into your life. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your own internal state. When you choose to embody abundance, wealth, and success, your external world will naturally follow. By choosing to wire your brain and body for a future of abundance now, you lay the groundwork for a future that aligns with your desires. Your thoughts create the blueprint, your emotions fuel it, and your actions complete the structure. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment or the next crisis to force change. The time to act is now. The future you want is already within your grasp. All you have to do is step into it with confidence, knowing that it is already yours.